like if this is what they want to do, go for it. Get yourself out there. You're gonna get knocked down. But if this is really what you want to do, keep building, keep moving. You're gonna really develop a thick
You just started modeling.
I had a lot of aunties who were in the designing industry. And because my auntie needed somebody to model their clothes, I was more than happy to get up there on stage and model them for them. I think I can remember when I was about 5 years old, my mom just had bought us some new clothes, my sister and I. And I was all in the camera and I was posing. And I was just so excited about the new clothes that I just started modeling. And I think that's how I got in that part. But then as my aunties needed people to model, I just said yes.
So is that how you stuck to modest fashion?
So yeah, because my dad was in the industry, and I remember asking my parents, "Can I model?" And being of the in the Islamic faith, I should say, that we were in, and they saw what modeling was in the 80s, and they were like, "No, you can't do that. That's not a place for you to be." So I let it go. At the time, my aunties were doing all of this modest fashion, and it was fashionable. It was in style. I was able to go ahead and just like it. And by the time I got to college, I was like, I can wear this to college. And it was beautiful. So I think that's how I stuck with the modest fashion.
Was it difficult finding jobs as a modest model?
Yeah. So many doors were just slammed in my face, and not even accept, like, so remember, 80s, they didn't have anything in the industry that remotely looked like me with something on their heads, or even covering with long sleeves and long dresses past their knees. If you want to fast forward to 2018, when I really started getting into it and being in fashion shows internationally, and plenty of designers that said no. But when I was going for managerial positions or administrative positions, when I went in with my suit, so this is one of my suits. When I went in with one of my suits that I got from Macy's or Nordstrom's or wherever I went, and I had my head covering on, they did accept me, but it wasn't for modeling. It wasn't for fashion. It was to be in the office or whatever the job I was going for. And I looked presentable and I looked professional. That wasn't difficult for me to get, but modeling gigs, yes.
What are you doing now? I mean, you said you kind of not doing as much modeling as you used to. So what are you getting into now?
I want to say the last official fashion show that I really did was in December. And not to say that I'm not modeling. I do model when people ask. I'm not going out as much looking for the positions or looking for fashion shows. Because now, two things. I have a full-time job, and I got this full-time job so that I can fund my business and make sure my business had the funds that it needed to, keep moving. And I don't have that much time. But I also have been told by several people, you should have your own line. A lot of people say, why don't you get a scarf line out? And I felt like, that's kind of saturated. Not that what I'm doing is not saturated, it's saturated too, but it was brought to my attention by my sister that she says, Carlotta, every time you go out or every time you dress up, you always put a suit on, or you always try to look professional. That's just your look. And I feel like I'm the most powerful and I guess confident when I'm in a suit, and I just decided to go ahead and make my own line.
So what is your business exactly? What do you sell? Just suits, right?
Blazers, trousers. I can sell them separately. I can sell them as a combination. Eventually, I want to have blouses and shirts. Anything that's more professional, that a suit jacket can go along with that.
Remember, we were talking about modest fashion. What do you say to people who are like, oh, modest fashion equals boring fashion? Nobody's gonna want to wear that. It's just long dresses, long black dresses.
I just feel like if you want boring and black all the time, yeah, you can get that, but not over here.
I love black, but it still doesn't have to be boring. If it looks good on you and you feel confident in it, it projects itself. So how do you stay motivated?
Knowing that I can help somebody. I think that's what motivates me. Knowing that I've always liked to dress and had an eye for it and stuff, but didn't think maybe that other people liked it, but I just did me.
I know you said when, you were modeling, there was a lot of no's. How do you handle the setbacks?
I use those setbacks as fuel, and it motivates me to get back up.
What advice would you give to aspiring models, especially, or entrepreneurs, especially since you mentioned that you actually have found a few other modest models?
I want to tell them to pick the niche that they want. So when I first started out doing this, I was looking on Google, and lo and behold, didn't even know that this one designer that I reached out to was doing head wraps. She wasn't Muslim or anything. She was doing head wraps. So she and I were communicating back and forth. I didn't know what she had or anything. And when I wrote back, I said, yes, I would love to model for you, because she saw my look. I sent her pictures, everything. And I said, I would love to model for you. And I said, but I just have to let you know that I'm a modest model, and I do cover my arms and my legs, and I do have something on my head. She wrote back, she said, well, we're in luck, because that's all I designed are head wraps. I was like, well, this is a perfect match. Look at there. And loved it. Loved it. Loved it. So I feel like if this is what they want to do, go for it. Get yourself out there. You're going to get knocked down. But if this is really what you want to do, keep building, keep moving. You're gonna really develop a thick skin.
What do you think is your greatest fear in the business aspect of it?
Not doing or getting the result. So I'm one of those people that I want everything done yesterday. So I feel like, yeah, I want to take on everything. I want to do it all. I want to stay up all hours of the night, make sure it's done. I just want everything perfect, and I know it's not going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect, and I'm still learning that. This is 2024, and I'm still learning that. But I feel like that is my biggest fear, to try to do it all and get burnt out or overwhelmed because I didn't delegate, or I didn't wait and be patient. And it doesn't all have to be done yesterday. It's going to come time. From what I'm hearing, 3 to 5 years for your business to really, get off the ground, be, where it's supposed to be, and you fail to succeed. You lose money to make money. So I'm learning all of this. And those were always all my fears, because I'm like, I'm putting all this money on my credit cards, and I don't have a job, or not a full-time one anyway. And I'm doing all of this, and what if I'm gonna pick the wrong stuff? And let that fear go. Let that fear go and do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. I'm Zahir from Region Design Lab, and we have
Naima from Fearless Threads.
And Letitia Winston of Keeping You in Stitches.
The model.
All right, guys. See you next time.